Shalom! This is Rabbi Buchwald, and I'm going to speak about Harambe, the late gorilla who lived in the Cincinnati Zoo, who was killed because a child went over the gate and went into his cage and was swimming around with him for 10 minutes, and they tried to get the gorilla out of the cage, but they couldn't, so they had to shoot him. And of course, there's this terrible uproar. What does Judaism have to say about this? Well, perhaps we could refer to the passage in Exodus about an ox that gores a human being. There are two types of oxen. One is a vicious ox that has a long history of hurting people. It's already killed 2 people or 3 people. And the other is an innocent ox that's really domesticated, has no history, but it killed a person. Well, the Torah says, in the instance of the innocent ox, that the owner is free because he couldn't have known that his ox was going to hurt the person. In the case of the vicious ox, the owner actually should be put to death, but he can pay a fine, an exemption for his life, and because he did not physically kill a person, he is let off by paying a fine. In both instances, however, the ox is put to death, both the innocent and the vicious one. And the rabbis say that he's put to death because he killed a human being, and the family of the deceased, the victim, should not be able to go around and say, look, there's the ox that killed my child or my brother. And I actually had a case like this in my family where my aunt and uncle retired to Florida, and soon after my aunt was run over by a laundry panel truck. And whenever my uncle saw this, a truck, even if it wasn't from laundry, he said, that's the truck that killed my wife. Perhaps the Torah is basically saying that any car that's involved in a lethal accident should be taken off the road and junked. But that's really what we're talking about, a certain sensitivity towards human life. And I think that they were correct, first of all, in saving that child, although perhaps the parents were irresponsible, but you don't know, might have looked away for a minute. And I think that the life of the child takes precedence over the life of the gorilla.